popo thing is water pimping, but this motherfucking Grey Goose, baby.
It's time. Your triple bogey, long shot parlay, full send degenerates at a place to call home. Look no further. It's the D-Gen Podcast.
What is good, everybody, and welcome back to the D-Gen Podcast. I am your host, Wayne Olagu, alongside my fellow co-host, Mikey Rom. Today, we have a great podcast planned, but before we do so, like always, we have some housekeeping. This podcast is presented to you by LockSpread. Go to lockspread.com, use that promo code DGEN, D-G-E-N. You're going to get a 100% deposit match up to your $100 on your first deposit. That means you have another chance to cash big, win big. Everyone wins. And as always, Sunday swagger. Golf season is here, guys. What are you doing if you're not wearing Sunday swagger? You got to look good. You got to feel good. You got to play good. You're going to do that by sporting your Sunday swagger. And the best part is you can get it for 15% off now by using that promo code DGEN15. 15% off at checkout when you cash out in the bag. Mikey, Cod'r is our new sponsor. Cod'r Canned Cocktails, home of Cape Cod, Massachusetts.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about them.
Yes. Thank you, Cod'r, for coming on board. Excited to have you here. Summer is almost here, and there's no better way to enjoy the warm weather than with Cape Cod'r Canned Cocktails. Whether you're a day drinking on the golf course with the boys or looking for the perfect tailgate drink for your next concert or sporting event, Cod'r has you covered. Their cocktails are made with real spirits and natural ingredients in a 4.5%. It makes them way more crushable than any Blue, Bullet, or Cold as the Rockies thing the other guy has going on. Personally, my favorite time to drink an ice cold Cod'r is while I'm sweating out my 5-leg Nerfy parlay. Fuck those Nerfy parlays.
Gotta love the Nerfy parlay.
Yeah. You know what I'm talking about. We're all been there, fucking sweating out a game. You got one leg left and you're fucking home run on the last pitch.
Need to crush a Cod'r to feel better.
Gotta crush a Cod'r. You can find Cape Cod'r at your local Wegmans, Total Wine, or other retailers. To find the closest store near you, check out capecodr.com/find us. And don't forget to visit their website for some of the coolest merch around. And as always, drink responsibly.
Well, all right. Before we get into the Cod'r tasting and much, much more on this podcast, we are going to talk about a little trip Wayne Olagu took to Europe, right?
Yeah.
Wayne Europe. Are you a breakfast guy? Like every day do you eat breakfast here?
Every fucking day I eat breakfast.
Okay, perfect.
Every single
now
day.
You can relate. I am a man who needs his eggs, his bacon, or his sausage, or whatever it may be. A little starch, maybe even a little yogurt. I know yogurt grosses some people out, which I know some people.
Weird people. Who the fuck doesn't eat yogurt?
Well, clearly Europe doesn't do any of that. I mean, you really have to look hard. I went to Paris, I went to Florence, I went to Rome. You really have to look hard to try to find a place that does like your conventional American breakfast. And I realized that going to Europe, I could never survive. I would be emaciated by noon every single day. The coffee situation is great in terms of they're really strong, but they're really small, and I like to sip. I like my iced coffee.
Yeah, I heard no iced coffee in Europe. Is that true?
Iced coffee is not a thing.
I heard that.
No way, no cold brews.
That's terrible.
No way, no cold foams.
So what are you slugging espresso? Like, what's going on?
I'm drinking cappuccinos hot on a hot day.
Christ,
That's just not my
thing. Terrible.
Dude, it is like Japanese water torture. So, I mean, I enjoyed it for the experience, but on an everyday basis, I mean, people in Europe, aka Italy, aka Paris, I don't know how you grind that one out. But even bigger story, the cost at which it hit me at, not so much the trip in general, but all the little bugaboos in between. I lost a whole suitcase full of shoes. A whole suitcase full of shoes. 5 pairs of shoes.
First of all, why are you bringing 5 pairs of shoes?
Because
you're bougie as fuck like that. You like your shoes.
So I had
That's the answer.
I had one really nice pair of dress shoes, one casual pair of dress shoes, a pair of running shoes, and then some other fuck around shoes in case I scuff my kicks.
Okay.
So yeah, so I was just prepared for everything. We were there for 10 days. So we're doing a lot of things.
Yeah.
Got to have a bunch of different outfits. And then secondly, on the way home, because you do the online check-in before 24 hours in advance. Well, it's called Vueling Airlines. It's some European airlines. Never heard of it before. Couldn't check in online. Couldn't prepay my luggage online. I get to the baggage check-in and they hit me for 3 bags, $560. You know how many parlays we could have place with 500?
That doesn't seem real. I feel like you got robbed there. Some mafia airplane company. You found them. I've never heard that airline. You fucked.
Well, the Wrangle was in. They got me. I mean, what am I gonna do? Leave my luggage there? It's like
No.
exactly.
You have to
So
pay.
it's either like I bring home my skibbies and my shoes, or and by the way, actually, I had to go to they have an H&M in Florence. I had to go to an H&M and buy new shoes, which I have on right now.
They look pretty nice.
Actually, yeah, they're just your standard white shoes. More of the experience side, though. You know that Wayno Wagyu is a chef on the side, right? That's my side hustle.
Yeah, yeah.
Aside from my union job and podcasting, I'm a man of many trades. So, yeah, Wayno chefs a lot was a real thing in Italy. We took a cooking class.
How did it go?
So I was told by a very experienced chef that my knife cuts were precise.
Oh my God, you must have been popping through your pants when you heard that, because
Yes. So we made a like 2 different pasta dinners, and then we made a tiramisu. It slapped, to say the least. But
All
I was chopping the garlic, and everyone was like watching, like
Yeah.
really hovering over my shoulder. I kind of felt them breathing on me, and I have never been so proud in any single moment in my life.
I mean, yeah,
To have
you
chopped
must have been
garlic
so
so
happy.
precise.
Yeah, and I have questions. I have questions
I
about
have answers.
I have questions about Paris. I have questions about Rome.
Okay.
First with Paris, did you get a nice croissant? And was it overrated, underrated, evenly rated? How was it?
Oh, it's a good question. I mean, did you go to Paris if you didn't get a croissant? So yes,
It's
I
a
did.
croissant.
A croissant.
Yeah.
So I did get a croissant, but it depends, because like really, it goes with the territory for like anywhere. Like the better the place, the better the whatever it is you're getting, right? So the croissant game was very temperamental on where you went. You had to go somewhere that had a good croissant that wasn't looking at tourist trappy. So yes, I did have a good one, but I did have some bad ones.
All right.
With that being said, though, did you know that if you go to Paris, there's actually way more Italian restaurants in Paris than like any like French places?
That sounds weird, but yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
So that's a thing. But one last thing I want to touch before we actually get into the sports part of the podcast, because I'm sure everybody's like, okay, we're done hearing about your fucking bullshit trip. But the Vatican, okay, obviously it's like one of the biggest places in Rome, in the world, really, in terms of like a tourist place, right? I cannot believe the amount of people they pack in there like sardines. It is a Chinese fire
Sounds like
drill.
my nightmare.
Dude, I don't even have anxiety. It triggered my anxiety. I was like, I feel like I need an inhaler. And it was so enjoyable. I mean, the place is beautiful. Don't get me wrong. I mean, God bless me for like shitting on the Vatican. It's like a holy place. But like, I mean, fucking, it is what it is, right?
It's a tourist trap.
A cat
That's
is
what
a
it
cat.
is,
Yeah. I mean, so with that being said, if you go to the Vatican, bring an inhaler,
don't go.
a 6-pack, and maybe a blunt. Fucking take the edge off.
Yeah.
All
right.
Speaking
Who takes
of
you?
6-packs, though, Mikey, we're here with the Cod'r. We're about to get into this. Is there any flavor or color? I don't see the flavors in front of us because they're turned the other way. Is there any flavor you want to dip into first?
So if I had to make a guess, I would go blue, whatever color this is, pink, and then yellow. That's my favorites.
All right, so we're going blue first?
Yeah.
All right, so the blue one is a white rum blueberry with a squeeze of lemon.
Very nice.
So one thing that I really liked about them that I saw, Mike, was these aren't malt beverages. They're like craft cocktails, so they actually use like real spirits. So it's like not like that gross artificially static electricity bullshit that you get like with Truly or any of those other ones.
Yeah.
But, salute. Cheers.
Cheers. Thank you, Cod'r. Oh, that one's actually good.
So I could
So I
slug
was
that
right.
10 out of 10
I
days
was
of the
right.
week.
This
Yeah.
is definitely going to be the best one. I'm taking a
Yeah.
listen.
So absolutely. If I know, like for people listening right now, obviously people are watching too, but if I could compare this to one thing, it is literally a cocktail at the bar. It's like,
yeah.
there's none of that staticky bullshit.
Yeah, and it's not $14 for a drink either.
Yeah.
So it's nice.
So these come in 4-packs.
Yeah.
Which I like. Also, they're, like I said, like not artificially at all. They hit right. Like I could crush these on the golf course.
And for
19 holes deep.
for my bread people, gluten-free.
Gluten-free, 94 calories, natural juice.
Yeah.
How you can't even get Gatorade, right? Gatorade. I mean, my whole entire life, I thought it was juice growing up as a kid, believe it or not. And even though they say right on, there's no fruit juice in this. Gatorade just started putting fruit juice in like some of their quote unquote healthier Gatorades, right? Like, so my Cod'r's already got them beat.
Yeah. All right, let's crush through these things. Let's get some more going.
What are we
Let's
doing
go
next?
this one next. We're going to do vodka grapefruit with a splash of cranberry. All right.
All right.
Here we go.
Is there a better sound?
Cheers. It's the best sound.
All right, send it. Oh, this is my favorite.
Also good.
Dude, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Wait. Shout out Cod'r because, I mean, with all due respect, never heard of Cod'r before we got in touch with them. Dude, they are put on notice that Cod'r is out.
That one I think is going to hop the blue one.
How do you not drink this whole thing right now? I'm going to be buzzed by the end of the show. Like, right. This is, all right.
And for those at home, we're recording at 9:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
So.
Picture yourself at, like, whatever concert, right? Gillette, Fenway, wherever you are in the world, just sipping a refreshing ice cold bevy, not beer, so you don't feel like you're like 6 months pregnant after.
Yeah.
And this is it. This is what you would be picturing in your head if you were craving a refreshing drink. All right, moving on to
let's go yellow.
Yellow. So we have a white rum ginger flavor with a squeeze lime. I'm gonna disclaimer, Mikey.
I know.
I am not a ginger guy.
I know.
So this, whether it's good or not, on the palate, it's gonna be really hard to win me over.
All right, here we go.
So.
It's actually not that bad.
It's actually really good. This one's good. It tastes like literally, it tastes like a Moscow Mule in a can.
Yeah,
right.
Good, yeah,
but like not so sweet. It's very like smooth. I shouldn't say smooth because it's bubbly, but like you know what I mean.
Yeah, the lime in there is good. I think that pulls it together nicely.
I might burp into the microphone right now, but this is like, wow, this is 10 out of 10 experience.
All right, and for the last one, we're gonna go vodka cranberry with a hint of mint. So,
how do you feel about mint?
I love mint.
I love mint in my mojitos. So if this is anything like that, then well, bottoms up.
Thank you, Cod'r.
Dude,
still good, but that's 4 for me.
4 out of 4 hit every single time. So have you ever seen, I don't know if you're a big TikTok guy, but there's this page on TikTok, and excuse me for not remembering their names, but they're a huge TikTok page. And what they do is a flavor test or a taste test, all different like booze brands, particularly seltzers and all that. And I'll tell you what, this needs to be on there. This is like, they would get 5-star review every single time.
Yeah. So thank you, Cod'r. Just so everyone knows, none of us have ever drinking these before. Yeah. Those are completely
like totally off the
genuine
cuff
reactions. I'm actually pleasantly surprised
with
how good those actually were.
And I feel like obviously because like seltzers get a bad reputation for being like a chick drink. This isn't a seltzer. Let's be clear here. This is a craft cocktail drink. This is gonna be a drink that you can crush on the golf course, like I said, like crush doing really anything by the pool, by the beach, by the whatever you want to crush it by, you can crush these, and I'm gonna crush it while we podcast.
All right.
So moving on.
Yeah, thank you, Cod'r.
Shout out Cod'r. And if you guys want to, like we said in the beginning, find Cod'r, you can hop in their website. You can go and check out where the nearest location is near you that carries it. Actually, they have a link on there where you can find it. But just in case you're in the area, Total Wine and Braintree, Curtis Dickinson, Holbrook, other places like that, they do carry it. So moving on to the Mavs. Mike, the NBA as a whole is a dumpster fire, in my opinion. Okay. The Mavs, particularly, though, are in the news for all the wrong reasons. Fined $750,000 for arresting their best players during an elimination game. Is the punishment enough?
So I'm going to say no, because $750,000 to Mark Cuban and an NBA franchise is nothing. But it is hilarious that they got fined for doing literally what every NBA team does when they're not in the playoff picture in the HUD. The Mavs are a little bit different. They were in an elimination game, but how often is an 8 or 9 or 10 seed gonna fucking make the playoffs, quote unquote playoffs, and then beat the 1 seed or the 2 seed? It's just not gonna happen. So I respect them for what they did, but it's just so hilarious that they actually got fined for it.
Yeah. So I think that this is hopefully the beginning of the end of this whole fucking resting players bullshit. I think this was like a slap in the wristing and a put on notice situation for the rest of the NBA. Like, hey, this is your warning. don't do it because it's only going to get worse from here because like it's killing the product. Like you see people, families, kids with their dads or moms or whatever going to games and looking to watch LeBron James, right? Their favorite player, misusing him. And he's not playing because he's tired, right? People spend good money out of their own pockets, maybe don't have enough money to technically like afford it on a year-to-year basis. So it's like a real novelty to go. And you have players just like not playing. And it's like, okay, well, like, why did I buy the fucking ticket then? Right. So like, I think that the NBA has a huge problem with this. This isn't like breaking news. I think this is like pretty well known throughout like really the whole sport. So kudos to the NBA for like kind of whipping their dick out on the table and saying like, oh no, like $750,000, we get it. That's like nothing to you. But if anything, it's not the $750,000, it's the PR hit I think they're taking. Yeah. Like, okay, well, like now, like you're essentially like, okay, it's not supposed to ever be a situation where you wave the white flag in any sport, right? This is like, okay, well, the Mavs wave the white flag, right?
Yeah. Yeah. If you're the Mavs, like the journey they had this season is as bad as it could get. You know, they start the season, they have Luka, everyone thinks they're going to be a good team. They make this trade for Kyrie Irving thing, and it's going to put them over the hump. And now we're talking about this, them getting fined for sitting people and not making the playoffs. It's just a complete disaster for the Mavs. And it's just the Kyrie Irving cloud, I think, that follows him around. You know, he's been on a lot of teams now. He's obviously a former Celtics player. We have our biases towards him, but I think the rest of the league is coming around to he's kind of not that final piece that a team goes out and makes and gets to put them over the hump. If anything, he brings them backwards.
So shout out to Jalen Brunson. I don't know why the Mavs never signed him. I mean, it's really easy to play the Monday morning quarterback situation here, but I don't know why they didn't sign him. He was a growing talent. He's having like an unbelievable year in the Knicks, borderline MVP status in terms of like how well he's played. I think some of the injuries he's had have like kind of set him back in that regard. But overall, like Jalen Brunson is the reason why the Knicks are a playoff team this year. Shout out to him. Is there anything else you want to touch about the NBA playoffs or anything? I know
Celtics in 5. Today. Celtics in 5.
Celtics in 5. Yeah, do you know what the spread is on that? Well, the line.
I didn't look at the series lines, but we're obviously heavy favorites tonight. Trae Young good enough to get one game, maybe. He's been kind of talking a lot in the media. I don't know if you've been following, saying, you know, what are you supposed to say as a Hawks? You know,
But I feel like Trae Young's a chirp artist, anyways. It's like what he does is like talk fucking shit. But I want to look up real quick too what the MVP odds, because right now it's between 3 people, right? It's between Joel Embiid, Giannis, and the Joker. 2 of them really, really want it, and one of them just like could give a fuck less. So Giannis right now is plus 285. This is NBA Finals MVP. All right, we're not gonna dip into this because I'm just fucking shitting the bed on it. But all right, well, we'll move on to the MLB. We're 14 games in for some teams, so we'll call it just roughly 14 games in, right?
Yeah.
Other than Tampa Bay being an absolute fucking wagon, right? They lost their first game yesterday, actually, to the Jays, so now they're 13-1. Is there any team or player or aka the Red Sox or anybody in particular that is like standing out that you just like, okay, I got something to say about them?
Unfortunately, I know we didn't want to get too local on this pod, but I have to talk about the Red Sox, and I have to talk about Chris Sale. Chris Sale stinks. I'm sorry. I'm forever thankful for what Chris Sale has done for this city, for the Boston Red Sox, and for me personally as a fan. Never forget, the 2018 season was a great year, but he needs to either pitch like he's a 4 starter, which is what he is now, or he needs to move to the bullpen, because he is not your front of the line 1-2 starter anymore. He just isn't. His body can't really hold up. He doesn't have the same control over his pitches. His velocity is a little bit down, and he just getting absolutely fucking shelled every night. And it's really sad to see. So Chris Sale, obviously hasn't been good. The Red Sox have been okay. Adam Duvall gets hurt, our best hitter for the beginning of the year. He's going to be out for a couple months with the broken wrist. But the Red Sox, I think there was some optimism this year that maybe they can make some noise. But in that division with the Rays, with the Blue Jays, and with the Yankees, obviously, it's just probably going to be another 4.
Dude, forget about the Yankees. Forget about the Blue Jays, okay? I mean, obviously the Rays are what they are right now. They're just big dicking everyone, but people are. I have this written down, so it segues perfectly into what I wanted to talk about. Talking about the Orioles, the Baltimore Orioles. Let me put my. By the way, these I don't know if you can zoom in right now, but these are bifocals.
Those things are thick.
I broke my glasses on my trip, so just another casualty of the Europe trip that just took more of Wayne Wagu's cash. But I had to buy these beaters, not knowing that they had bifocals on them. So excuse me for looking like Grandpa Moses, but to be able to read this, I put them on, and the Orioles, okay, they're currently 8-6, which obviously isn't exactly, as we always say, lighting the world on fire. But the people they have on their team are, and they have so much potential and so much youth and so much ability this year to make a run. All right, Adley Rutschman, first of all, future MVP, 100% in this league. He absolutely rakes to the plate. He's currently batting .377. If you watch opening day against the Red Sox, 5 for 5.
Yeah, tore us
right. He absolutely tore us apart, and also defensively a great catcher. Ryan Mountcastle, first baseman for them, also a young guy, played last year, didn't exactly have the best season, but clearly he's found himself at the plate. Still only batting .259, but he is tied with the league in dingers with 6, leads the league in RBIs with 19. The Orioles as a team are 6th in OPS, 11th in batting average, 6th in home runs, and 3rd in RBIs. The only thing holding them back right now is their pitching, which is 27th in the ERA, which is actually one spot ahead
of our Boston Red Sox.
Of the Boston Red Sox. Actually, no, the Boston Red Sox are 26th. But regardless, just to show you the category they're pitching that they need to fix. But yeah, I love the Orioles this season. Like, talk about a dog, like absolute dog. Like I'm fired up for them to see what they do. I love rooting for the underdog, and they are exactly that. One other person I want to point out, Shohei Ohtani, and shout out to Handshake Bets of this of Better for pointing this out. I saw this and I'm stealing it. 5 days ago, all right, there was a player of the University of Indiana named Brady Ware. He hits for the cycle and throws a no-hitter in the same game.
Wild.
Did you hear about that?
Yeah, wild.
All right. Handshake Bets did a little calculation, figured out how much money you had to put on Shohei Ohtani to do that, right? Because it's in the scheme of things, it's hard to do. It's unlikely, but if anybody could do it, it's him, correct?
Yep.
So $1 wins you like $22 million if you bet that. So essentially, if you bet $1 a day on Ohtani, or $1 every single time Ohtani pitch a no hitter and hit for the cycle, you have a chance at that. So I thought that was like crazy. And the last thing I want to wrap up with baseball is Javi Baez. Have you seen that situation?
It's not good.
So
very bad.
Didn't know the outs. Didn't tag up, gets thrown out. Badu looks at him like, what the fuck are you doing? And then also he hits the ball, starts doing his pimp walk down first base, gets sapped because it hits the wall, and he ends up on first base. I know I used to be a huge Javi Baez fan. Do you remember him absolutely making the Pirates look like a bunch of idiots? Basically, like, he was running down first base. They threw the ball. He didn't go to first base. Someone ended up scoring because of it, and then he ended up all the way on third base or something like that.
Yeah, he's a good player.
I'm saying, but he's not too far removed from that. Like, I hate seeing guys like him just totally fall off.
Yeah, I think he's definitely fallen off the wagon. I think he just needs a change of scenery, honestly. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets moved soon, and at the latest at the trade deadline for MLB. It's just not working out where he is right now. He needs to go somewhere else and kind of refocus and get back to the player that he can be, because we know he rakes. We know he's a good glove and he's smart baseball player. So I really hope he turns it around. I hope he doesn't go down the road of some of these players that just kind of never get it back and end up out of the league in 2 or 3 years. But yeah, I just think he needs to move on from where he is now, because
it's gonna be hard to move him. He's getting paid.
I know, but
6 years, $140 million. Nobody's gonna want to take that contract on. And in the meantime, also shout out Javi Baez. You need to get a haircut, bro. Whatever you have going on with the bleach blonde hair is not working.
Maybe that's it. Maybe he needs a fucking haircut,
dude. He needs something, because that hair got to go. I mean, I'm like balding. Shout out receding, all that stuff. So I shouldn't throw shade, but I'm going to.
Okay.
All right, moving on. Last year, Mike, we did the 10K challenge. We succeeded, right?
We did.
$50 to 13,000. We actually over exceeded our expectations.
We did.
We're running it back starting this Monday. What would you do with your extra 10K?
Oh, that's a good question. So I thought about this on the drive over here. There's a lot of things I could do. First thing I'm thinking is koi pond.
Koi pond? Wait, aren't koi's like really fucking expensive?
Yeah, that's why you need 10K.
Okay.
Yeah, but when you have people over and you bring them out to your fucking yard, you see some nice grass, you might see a little grill, a little patio, maybe some cornhole. How many times have you seen a koi pond out there?
I mean,
Your house
not
becomes
enough times.
Your house becomes a destination location. Okay, you get some nice koi in there. The only thing is they're fucking expensive and they're expensive to feed, so you'll need that 10K.
Yeah.
You get 4 or 5 koi fish in there. They're swimming around.
Swamming?
Yeah.
Swamming around?
Yeah.
Oh, man, I'm really starting to feel this vodka cranberry. Man, I love it, dude.
What would you do if you're not going to get a koi pond though with your 10K?
Oh, man, if I'm not getting a koi pond, I'm probably building like an outdoor patio kitchen
Okay.
with a nice grill. Because like I
So
said,
something responsible.
something semi-responsible. I mean, a guy with precise knife cuts on garlic has to do something.
Over here about these knife cuts
Yeah.
the rest of my
No,
life.
I know, seriously. No, but I think I'd build like an outdoor, like really kitchen or fire pit area or something cool, somewhere where I could continue to just smash this Cod'r.
Yeah.
It's delicious. Tonight, Boston Celtics, I know you said Celtics in 5. Celtics are currently catching 9 points, -9. The total is 230.5, -410 on the money line. Hawks plus 330. Do you want to take a stab at a pick here or?
Yeah, I think the Celtics cover by 20. I think they won by 20 tonight. Yeah.
I feel like this is one of those games that like Celtics going to come out on fire. They're going to be so fired up. Crowd's going to be jumping, right? And the Hawks going to come back at halftime and make the game like wicked close because the Celtics, right? We've said that before. They're really good at blowing leads. They're really good at like not being a good like third and fourth quarter team.
Yep.
And playing to the level of their competition. I think that this ends up being a backdoor cover. And I think the Hawks actually cover the plus.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, we'll see. I'm gonna be on that Celtics heavy tonight, just so everybody knows.
I guess while we're at it, while we're here, right? We might as well just hammer out the other two.
Yeah, let's do
3
it.
games,
Let's do
right?
it, yeah.
Brooklyn Nets plus 8.5 visiting the 76ers. Sorry, I keep on burping. 214.5 is the total. Who do you have in that game?
Yeah, I like the Sixers. I don't think they're gonna cover though. So I'd probably take the points with Brooklyn.
Shout out Mikal Bridges was the best player prop to take all season. Take him over 20 points. Just shut your eyes. Take him over 20 points every single game. And 19 out of 20 times, it's gonna fucking hit.
Yeah.
Mikal Bridges,
He's
wagon.
been great. But yeah, I got the Sixers to win and then the Nets to cover.
Yeah, I like that. I'll take that too. Moving on, Knicks visiting the Cavs. Knicks are dogs here, plus 5.5 on the road, obviously. 217 is a total. The Cavaliers were like obviously really good this year. They were sneaky good. I don't think anybody expected them to be this good. Evan Mobley is like so untalked about. Not talked about enough anyways. But with that being said, Mikey, I have a pick for you.
All right, let's hear it. Go ahead.
New York Knicks to win the NBA championship.
Okay.
Hey,
right,
you know what?
listen, hey, I respect it. Listen, if you're gonna pick a team that's not in the top 3 to go, you know, obviously the Knicks are the play. If they can get through this series, I think they either get, well, if we get through the series, we get the Celtics or the Bucks. Yeah, so if they get through this series, I think they get a good shot of, you know, moving on next, and they can make it all the way to the finals. They have a good team, a young team. We don't really know what their potential is. You know, that's just kind of scratching the surface with their unit that they are put together now. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
I think as long as they don't shoot themselves in the foot, which they're obviously capable of doing, they have the potential in terms of man-for-man skill to beat any team. I think their bench with Isaiah Quickly and some other people off their bench is really deep.
Yeah.
I think I like the Knicks to actually win this series against the Cavs.
Yeah.
Plus 5.5. Don't know if they're going to cover that today. I feel like they're going to need to get punched in the mouth to wake up first, but I do like the Knicks to win the series. And last game, Golden State Warriors visiting the Sacramento Kings. First time ever, by the way, all 4 California teams have been in the playoffs at the same time.
Really?
Which is pretty fucking cool.
Okay.
So California is jumping right now. They should get some Cod'rs and just get hammered and celebrate. But Golden State favored right now, -1. Is that like a slap in the face of Golden State? Even though they're on the road, I mean, they're still in California, right? I feel like the fans could travel.
You know, Sacramento is a great story. the Golden State's going to win the series, but I think it's a good series. You know, I think Sacramento is definitely on the up. They've had a ridiculous season for their standards. You know, they've been in the bottom of the league for 10 years now, 15 years. So it's a great story. I think it'll be a competitive game tonight and a competitive series, but I do think Golden State edges it out tonight and they edge out the series. So, yeah.
So, like, I want to pick Sacramento here just because, like, I feel like they're going to surprise a lot of people.
Yeah.
I fucking hate Draymond Green with a passion.
As do I.
The second he punched Jordan Poole in the face in the preseason, I was like, I hate that man. I hate that man.
All right.
But with that being said, the Golden State Warriors, they've just been there, done that for too long now, and they still have enough talent to beat a team like the Sacramento Kings in 7. I think it's going to take, but today they get the win. -1, it's like at that point, there's no difference between that and the money line. Essentially, it's 5. Just take the point. And just take the money line and make yourself avoid the push. That is the podcast. Good to be back.
Yeah.
Good to be back from Europe, particularly. Good to have my breakfast back. Is there anything you want to mention or talk about before we wrap up the show?
No, excited for the NBA playoffs. I know we didn't touch on it this week, but NHL playoffs starting next week as well. Bruins.
Yes. Next week we'll definitely be talking about that. And shout out to the Bruins for making history.
That's right. 65 wins.
Yeah, points too.
Points, everything. Presents, everything.
Yeah.
They're going to get bounced in the first round. That's what that means.
What?
Don't
say that.
It's hockey. I don't know. It's how
Dude,
it goes, man.
You can't say that.
We'll
not
see.
here on this podcast.
Well, see. Hopefully not.
Again, big shout out to the presenting sponsor here, Lockspread. Go to lockspread.com. Use that promo code DGen. You're going to get 100% deposit match in your first deposit up to $100. More money to win big, cash out. Guys, Sunday swagger, like I said, always golf season, but right now it's really golf season. Like, golf season is here.
Yeah.
You need to look good. You got to look good to play good. Sunday swagger has you covered. Use that promo code DGen15. You're going to get 15% off your entire bag at checkout. What's better than that? Cod'rs.
Yeah.
Cod'rs, sipping on the golf course, sipping at the tailgate, sipping anywhere all the time, every time. Mikey,
Cod'r, I'm telling you, they're going to take the world by storm.
So what was your favorite overall before we wrap up?
So I'm going to go blue. Maybe fucking yellow, honestly. I was very surprised with yellow. Dude, yellow was good.
Yellow was like San Diego State coming out of nowhere in the bracket and just took me off my feet.
Incredible. And then I'll probably go, there's orange and then pink.
Honestly, I think I got a 4-way tie. I could delete any of these.
Okay.
But well, till next time, everybody. It's been real. And it's about that. Peace.
Grey Goose, baby.
It's time. Your triple bogey, long shot parlay, full send degenerates at a place to call